Hi everybody, my name is Abdul Hernandez, and I have a shocking story I would like to expose. This is a story that can happen to anybody. The story takes place April 8th, 2022 in Raleigh, North Carolina. That morning was like no other morning. That morning was the beginning of the most horrible times of my life. Imagine being dead asleep to the point you're hearing things in your dreams, and it sounds like someone's trying to break in your house. You don't have time to collect your thoughts, and boom, the door busts open and you have guns pointed at your face. You don't know if it's the police. You don't know if it's someone trying to rob you. You don't know. Your first and only instinct is to be concerned about your children who are upstairs, age 1 and 3. But before you can even move, you see which looks like a bunch of people just running in your house with guns, run up the stairs until you hear them say police. You have a sign of belief knowing that it is the police, but you're also afraid because as a black man, let's say a black person, anytime we see police now these days, we feel like they're aiming to kill us. So you stop right there with your hands up and praying that they don't do anything crazy. That day, well, let's say that morning, I was lucky that I'm able to talk to you guys today to inform you of the corruption and the collaboration between the DA's office and the Raleigh Police Department.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Stairs left, stairs left.
Hey.
Hands!
Hands up.
Police
Hands
search
up.
warrant!
Police search warrant!
Hands on your head. Give me one.
With you. Okay, my hands up. Keep your hands up.
Alright, static!
Kids is upstairs. Oh, you got him? How many kids are upstairs? There's 2 kids upstairs. 2 kids upstairs? Alright. Gotcha. Hey, you upstairs, go to the door. It's kids up there.
They're just kids.
It's babies.
Okay. Alright.
Power was in the middle and arrow to the right, and then they were items that were confiscated were within several feet of where Ariel was sitting.
All right, detective, if you'll take a look at these photos, I can sort through them really quickly. Do they depict what you saw that day?
They do.
And they haven't been altered in any way since they were taken, is that right?
They have not.
Do they adequately show the closeness, the proximity of the kids to some of the items that you were describing in your testimony?
They do.
In some of the pictures, there is a safe. Is that right?
Correct.
Can you tell the court what was determined to be inside that safe as a result of your investigation?
The safe was not locked. The safe contained marijuana that we determined it was for sale, not for personal use.
Okay, and the photographs will show this, but the safe's door was open and the jar that contained the marijuana was in plain sight. Is that right?
Correct. When we entered a room, the safe was ajar, and we opened it up, and the safe was already ajar, and inside the safe was the marijuana.
How close was Ariel sitting to that open safe?
Again, within feet, I would say maybe 3 to 4 feet maximum.
All right, detective, if you'll take a look at these photos, sort through them really quickly. Do they accurately depict what you saw that day?
They do.
And they haven't been altered in any way since they were taken, is that right?
They have not.
Do they adequately show the closeness, the proximity of the kids to some of the items that you were describing in your testimony?
They do.
In the downstairs bedroom where the two defendants were located upon entry of the residence, immediately when you walk into the bedroom, there was a chair in the bedroom that had a white cutting board sitting on the chair. On top of that white cutting board was scattered with white powder. There were credit cards. There was a $20 bill rolled up on top of the cutting board. The white powder was preliminarily tested using a preliminary test kit at the scene, and it tested positive for the presence of cocaine.
Detective, you have photographs of that contraband as well, correct?
Correct.
May I approach?
Yes, ma'am.
Your approach was in Marcus County's 2.
Is this just the contraband, not
This is just the contraband that
Fro-
was,
in the downstairs bathroom? I mean, downstairs bedroom.
yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to call this Wake County Health and Human Services 2, and we'll just call it contraband photos.
Detective, do these photos accurately depict what you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
And that includes the white powder on the cutting board, all of the credit cards or driver's licenses that were there.
Correct.
And initially, were the items moved in any way when these photos were taken?
No, ma'am, that's how, whenever we walked in, that's the overview photograph we took and the close-up photograph we took upon entry without moving anything.
Okay, so the cutting board and everything on it was placed in open sight, just right on the chair,
Yes, ma'am.
not hidden or anything like that?
Yes, ma'am. So when you walk into this room, to describe it, you would walk into the room. The bed was to the right up against the wall. Straight ahead in the bedroom was this chair with the items sitting on top.
Do we have a space yet?
We have a spot.
Yeah, we're good in here. All right, let me go ahead and move him out.
All right.
Stand by.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You go upstairs?
What's that?
You go upstairs?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just make sure I can't.
That particular day, Miss Rutland was arrested at a later date. I told her that day that there would be charges, those charges coming, but because the two kids were there that particular day, it was decided to leave her with the two children that day, and we later arrested her for those charges.
So he was arrested, she stayed, and you arrested her later.
Yes,
Okay.
just because
For
the
the
two
kids,
children were
yep.
there that particular day, and we didn't have anybody to turn them over to.